Next time your to-do list is too dang long, use Shipped Same-Day Delivery. Shipped connects you to personal shoppers who offer a one-stop shopping and delivery solution for, well, just about anything. Groceries? Picked carefully from your neighborhood grocer. Pet supplies? Dropped to your door from PetSmart. Crafts? Tools? Medicine? All deliverable from Michael's, Lowe's Home Improvement, CVS, and so many other stores. Try Shipped today with a 14-day free trial. Download the Shipped app or visit Shipt.com. That's SHIPT.com. Terms apply.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, we are going to be talking about how my biggest hater is a racist. And it's one of those things where he can try to say that he's not, but it's like, fam, there is way too much evidence against you showcasing that you are racist. So I just find it funny how, like, over the years, he always has tried to deny that. He's like, oh, I'm not racist. I don't say racist things. I don't do racist things. I don't have a racist fan base. But I'm like, fam, that it's the opposite. You are racist. You do racist things. You say racist things. You do have a racist fan base. Like, I don't know why you're trying to run away from that. Like, fam, you're a racist. And then it's like, then for you to come out of nowhere and then just start showing support towards Trump. And I'm like, I have to say a good majority of Trump supporters are racist. Like, it's one of those things where I have yet to see anything else from them besides them being racist. You know, there's probably those like calm, cool, collected Trump supporters where they actually looked into his political views and they found it more relatable or fitting compared to other politicians, you know, running for president and stuff. But at the end of the day, like them ones that just, you know, they're a nuisance and stuff. Yeah, no, they're 100% racist. It's like, prove me wrong otherwise, you know, on what I'm saying. But anyways, but I mean, from him becoming a Trump supporter, from a friend of mine's telling me that there was a time when they were in a Discord call with them and he just randomly starts saying the N-word because his roommate gave him permission to. And then from that to his fan base and the amount of times where I done called his fans out for being racist. Like, I did a whole series of videos where I talked about him and his fans being racist and they just downplayed it. And then there was a date that he went on where he asked the black woman of it's one of those questions where I'm like, you know, I guess to sit down and think about it, it's like, what kind of black woman are we talking about? Are we talking about like the quiet ones, or are we talking about the ones where it's like she'll swing on you for saying some stuff like that? But it's like, and that was the thing too, it makes you kind of wonder, like, was that date fake? Because like, did he just make that up and say, oh yeah, because if you see what this guy looks like, there is no, unless, yeah, it has to be, I feel like one of those black people that think they're white, but there is no way possible. The black women that I know, they wouldn't go on no date with him. I'm sorry, but no, it's one of those things where it's like, when you look like a mixture of Lord Farquaad and the guy that shot Drake in that Degrassi show that he was on years ago, there is no way possible a black woman looked at you and said, yes, I will go on a date with you. No, I refuse to believe, but he is a liar. So it's one of those things where we ain't really talking about that. We gonna talk on the racism that I've noticed with him and stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and start off with 2016, the year when I met my biggest hater. So how that whole situation went about. So at the time, there was a lot of people that did reaction videos that was getting hated on. So anyways, he decides that, I did a video where I was defending people that did reaction videos. He decided to respond to my video. I downplayed it because I'm like, fam, I don't care how you feel about me showing my support towards reaction videos. And I said that. I'm like, if you don't like my videos, then don't watch them. It's common sense. If you don't like something, you ain't gonna sit there and continuously keep upsetting yourself by watching it or whatever and stuff. So, but anyways, then yeah, me and him was going back and forth at it. But that was one thing that I was noticing with him, was that he was only going after black people that did reaction videos. And there was a lot of other different people that was doing reaction videos. Yes, I will say that the more popular ones were black. But I mean, now, like, you see the reaction video scene. I mean, you see everybody doing reaction videos. I guarantee and I promise you, any content creator you're following, big content creators, whether it's Senna, whether it's Extra Emily, whether it's Kai Cenat, whether it's Duke Dennis, whether it's, I'm trying to think of some other people, you see it a lot. You see a lot of different people doing, and it's funny how I mentioned Kai Cenat and Duke Dennis, and I guess, like, more so talking outside, like, white creators and stuff. I'm sure PewDiePie, I had to say, he's, like, probably the biggest white creator I've seen. I think, he is the big, well, no, I think Mr. Beast, he actually has a reaction. I don't think he uploads videos on that channel anymore, but I think Mr. Beast, he done did some reaction videos. I'm trying to think who else. But even back then in 2016, when reaction videos was getting a lot of hate, you would see people outside the black race doing reaction videos. Because I even remember the one channel, I believe their name was The Real Rejects. Hold on for a second. Let me just see real quick. The Real Rejects. I think this was their channel name. I don't even think that one guy. Oh no, wait a minute. No, he still does. He still does. Okay, there was the one guy on there named Ryan. Where I was about to say, I'm like, does he not upload on that? Like, it's a channel that belongs to other people now. But I think it's like friends of his where they just saw. But yeah, it's like I think their latest video, it shows a biracial. Like he kind of like a beige, like, Tiger Woods thing, like maybe a little bit lighter, maybe it could be the same complexion. I have to see a picture of him and Tiger Woods next to each other and stuff. But the other guys are white, so it's like, so I guess 2.5 white guys. Like, I don't know, but no, overall though, the main guy that was originally a part of it, well, I mean, he is still a part of the channel, but he was, I guess, like, it was at one point in time just him doing reaction videos on that channel. Yeah, he's not black. And then I believe he had a girlfriend at the time. I believe she was Hispanic. I think he might be Hispanic too. I don't know. But anyways, then there was this one white guy where I always had referenced him. I was like, white guy with dope mustache. Because he had like one of those like Western Red Dead Redemption mustaches where it's like you can twist up the sides and things. Like he catered to his mustache. But yeah, that man wasn't black. And even though, yeah, Tyrone Magnus, man's black, but he would feature a lot of different people on his channel, because I think at one point in time he had an Asian guy on his channel reacting to videos. And I'm trying to think who else has he had on there. I think he even had that guy with the mustache on his channel at one point in time. So even Tyrone Magnus, he had people on his channel that would react to videos and they wasn't black. So, but my thing is this though, why was he only going after black people that did reaction videos? Like, you wasn't even trying to go and do research, because I remember there was this one girl, and the thing is this, her videos, like her reaction videos, I would say that he would have definitely had content with her. I don't know if she still does videos anymore, but I'm thinking to myself, this girl is doing reaction videos and it doesn't even seem like that she's talking about the video that she's reacting to. So let's say, for an example, she's reacting to a video game trailer. Like, yeah, let's say she's reacting to season 9 of the Crew Motorfest. So she's reacting to it. You can clearly see that she's reacting to it, but she'll get the talking. She won't even be talking about video games. Like, she'll be reacting to that trailer, right? And then out of nowhere, she'll just be like, she'll drop like a random fact about flowers and stuff. Like, she was like, oh, and that's the thing. They wouldn't be showing flowers, or at least flowers ain't even the main part of the video and things, because I feel like, yeah, it might have been like something like trigger. So I'm trying to think of something. Snails. Okay, like, yeah, let's just say snails. She'll just be all like, oh, snails, they're very slimy. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you'll be watching her videos and it's what she's talking on. I'm like, fam, what are you talking about? That's not even a part of the video. They didn't show the snail. They didn't show flowers not once in this video. What are you talking about right now? So yeah, it was, he definitely would have had, my biggest hater definitely would have had a lot of content to do about her. But no, he was only going after black men that did reaction videos and stuff. I don't think there was a whole lot of, at the time, being black women that did reaction videos. But no, he definitely has something against black men. I don't know, maybe he had a girlfriend growing up and a black man came along and overall took his girlfriend away from him, and that's probably why he got this weird hatred towards well, no, and that's the thing, he does, it's just black people in general. It ain't even just black men, because there's a date that I'm going to talk on at some point in time. But anyways, but yeah, I was all like, I noticed that with his channel. I'm thinking to myself, why does he only make videos about black people that do reaction videos? Like, what's the idea with that? You know, yeah, you have other videos, but it's like when you're doing videos talking about reaction videos, you always got to talk about a black person that's doing reaction videos. Like, there's all these other different people, and and the crazy thing about it, because I know people probably would look at my sub count and be thinking, oh, so you must have been big back then. No. Back 10 years ago, like, yeah, 10 years ago, I had like maybe 3,000 to 4,000 subscribers. And I don't think I started really getting a whole lot of subscribers until I think I maybe reached that 10,000 mark sometime that very next year in 2017. So I wasn't that big of a creator back then and stuff. I would say I started becoming a bigger creator back in 2024. That's when I got my big break when it came down to content creating. But anyways, but no, overall though, fast forward sometime later, I decided that I was going to do a little bit of research on his channel. I'm like, nah, let me see some of his earlier videos. The earliest video I found, and I think it was one of his first videos that he uploaded onto that channel, and that raised another suspicion in my head that, yeah, there's definitely, because I'm like, okay, with the, primarily doing videos on black people that do reaction videos, I'm like, okay, the people that he's talking about, they are the more famous ones besides me. I'm like, all the other ones, they had over 100,000 subscribers. Even some of them had 1 million subscribers, because I believe Jinx, he was the first person in the reaction community to reach 1 million subscribers, and I think his brother might have, CJ So Cool, might have followed sometime afterwards with 1 million subscribers. But anyways, but I'm like, okay, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt with that one. It's like they are bigger creators and stuff, but I'm thinking to myself, well, why me? What did I do? All I just did was, it's like, it wasn't even like my video stood out when I did that defending reactors video. So, but no, the earliest video I found on his channel was of him defending the Confederate flag. Now, when I'm trying to piece together, and I feel like that's a question that I never really asked, that why is it okay for you to defend the Confederate flag, but it's a problem when I defend people that do reaction videos? My thing is this, what do you think is more accepted in today's society, or what could you go out and do out in public? Do you think you'll be able to go out in public and wear a Confederate flag outfit, or do you think you'll be able to go out in public and do a reaction video? Yeah, it might be a little bit, loud and stuff when doing that reaction video, but if you get one of them noise cancellation microphones and stuff, like, you ain't got to worry about that. But how do you think that would turn out if you were to go out in public and wear a Confederate flag outfit? That's why I'm like, fam, your priorities in life is all wrong, because I seen that and I'm like, there is no way possible he did a video defending the Confederate flag. Even if you're trying to explain, oh, the Confederate flag, it meant something else back in the day. Yeah, it's being used for a different thing now. It don't, like, yeah, I guess, like, people can say, like, oh, music was so peaceful back then. Now you hear music today, and it's like, oh, it promotes gang violence. Yeah, people ain't gonna be all like, oh, the music back then is gonna speak for the music now. Like, so whatever the meaning of the Confederate flag back then, it ain't speaking for the meaning now. So yeah, I guess, like, if you're doing like a informational video where it's like, oh yeah, back then the Confederate flag meant something, but right now it doesn't. No, that wasn't his message in that video. And it's funny because people started calling him out for that video, and then he ended up deleting it because he's like, for some reason he just really wants to hide his racism. So anyways, then after he got canceled, that's when it was just a bunch of different stuff started coming out about him. And I mean, it was people reaching out to me, because that's how I actually found out that he got canceled. Somebody reached out to me and was all like, hey, he's getting demolished right now. And then when I looked his name up, like when in wrestling, when they had there's that one viral wrestling clip where it was the SmackDown versus Raw for a Survivor series. And they show where the wrestlers, they'll storm the backstage and just start beating up the Raw wrestlers to start beating up a SmackDown wrestler by himself. Because I think there is a clip where one of the brands stormed into the locker room, start beating up a wrestler and stuff. And it's like, fam, I'm just trying to change into my street clothes. What's going on? Like, this is a part of the job. I'm getting jumped. But that was literally what was happening with my biggest hater when he uploaded. So he decided to upload a video defending a pedophile. Again, doing the defense video, and he called me out. And it's like, fam, that's very hypocritical of you. It's like, you sit down and think about it. It's like, here it was, you got on me and had it where your fans attacked me, and still to this day attacking me 10 years later. you had your fans attack me because I defended people that did reaction videos, but it's a problem now when people are going after you because you defended a pedophile. Please explain that. Please explain how it was wrong for me to do what I did, but it was right for you to do what you did. I don't get it. And then I feel like he'll try to be like, oh, well, I know it was wrong for me to, but then, okay, so why would you do it? Why would you even do some stuff? You would think that it's like you pretty much, you tell people, hey, don't smoke crack, but you go out and smoke meth. That's essentially what you pretty much did. And so it's like, fam, you shouldn't be. And my thing is this: if defense videos needs to be off of the internet, all defense videos need to be off of the internet. So even outside of the Cinnabare video, because that was the name of the creator he defended, and the Confederate flag video, if you have any other defense videos on your channel, you gotta take them down. Based off of your logic, defense videos are bad. So it don't matter whether the argument is bad or whoever the creator is or whether they're bad. No, defense videos, the way that you described it, you made it seem like that defense videos, they shouldn't exist. So, and even if it is on some stuff where it's like you're talking about my argument, fam, there wasn't no argument with that video. I was just making people understand why do reaction videos exist. So yeah, that's why I was like, man, it just, I found it funny though, how that was out of all the videos he could have got canceled for. That was the video that he got canceled for, was the defense video. So anyways, but yeah, like I was saying, there was all this stuff that was coming out about him. But no, that was one thing though, because I feel like I just jumped the gun. Like there was a portion that I had just left out. But before he got canceled, myself and another YouTuber had called, the other YouTuber was calling him out. Me, I did a whole series of videos where I called out him and his fans for being racist. And and the other YouTuber, I think he did some stuff himself where he ended up having to ditch the spot with content creating. But no, yeah, my videos were still there because I remember the first 3 videos I did, where the first one was kind of like an opening video, just kind of letting people know, like, hey, this is what I dealt with him and his fans. The second video, I believe, was showing comments that I got from his fans over the years, because I believe I uploaded those videos in 2019. I started dealing with him and his fans in 2016. And so, yeah, it was just it was just comments over that 3-year period. But, I mean, even after that, like that very next year, I had to say I got probably the most craziest comment from his fan, where they said that, I can't remember how they worded it, but they said that I deserved a noose or I deserved to be hanged. It was one of those two things. Like, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think I remember it was a book writer. She wrote about it in her book. So, I'm trying to think. Her name is Caroline Baker. Like, if you guys look up Caroline Baker on Amazon, I think it was like something influencer by Caroline Baker, and I think it was like both her and her husband had worked on the book and stuff. But yeah, it's I believe like you can read the sample part that I had said. You possibly can read that for free. If not, if you are looking for a new book to read, I recommend you guys go check out that book and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, there was that. And then there was the racist Twitter stalker that I was dealing with, where he goes on to say, so I remember at the time when I discovered the racist Twitter stalker, me and him was going back and forth on Twitter. Well, I blocked him on Twitter. So he was just listening to my podcast episodes, but was responding to me on Twitter. But so anyways, I remember I had told him, I was like, rather than talking about me left and right, how about you talk about something a little bit more serious, like Breonna Taylor and George Floyd? Because at the time, that was the biggest thing that was happening in the news. And I'm thinking to myself, that seemed like that would do better for you if you said something like, positive about them, or said something negative about the cops that killed them. It just seemed like that would do better for you and things. So anyways, I say that. And then the guy, he goes on to say, oh, I already talked on George Floyd, and I don't care for Breonna Taylor's situation. And I'm thinking to myself, fam, you said this out in the public. And it's funny because shortly after that, he ended up privating his social media. I believe he privated his Twitter accounts. As far as anything else, it was the one Twitter account where he was most likely saying the racist stuff, where he privated that account. but then the other accounts, it was funny because I remember I blocked them and then he turned around and blocked me because I don't know why Twitter is set up that way, but yeah, like when you block a person on there, you can block them too. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, so it's furthermore keeping us from communicating. Cool, nice. That's what I wanted in the first place. I don't want to talk with you guys, but so anyways, then yeah, fast forward because there was the one fan. I remember it was one of his fans. I've been jumping the gun. I do apologize. I'm trying to rush through this episode because I plan on streaming here in a moment. But anyways, but yeah, there was one of his fans where they tried to bring up like some high school drama with me, talking about there was a girl that I was interested in, and she rejected me because of the color of my skin, and he was trying to make it seem like that what she did was okay. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if that happened to you, you would have a problem with it, but because it's me, it's not a problem. And that's why I'm like, yeah, you know what? I know what business you're on. I didn't block him then. I blocked him because it was funny. And it was, again, for something racist. He's making like all these racist comments about one of his friends' sibling. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, if this is a friend of yours, why are you talking behind his back? Like, bro, be respectful, you know? But yeah, I remember I ended up blocking him. And I was like, yeah, I don't care for conversating with that guy. But now, 2024, my biggest hater, he gets canceled. And then all these different things started getting leaked out about him and stuff. Then I think this situation had happened first, where it was a friend of some of his fans. So it was I feel like I might have not said that correctly, but so there's his fans. There was I said it correctly. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm like rushing into this episode and I thought I didn't say it correctly, but anyways, but no, so some of his fans, they were cool with this individual. I don't know if they had a falling out or what, but overall though, the individual had reached out to me and then was telling me all these different things that was happening behind closed doors with his editor, because his editor got called out for being a pedophile, and then some of his fans. And that was one thing that they told me, was that it was one of his fans that pretended to be that suicidal girl from some years ago. So yeah, for those that don't know that, he put up one of his fans to pretend to be suicidal and then reached out to me and was trying to play the whole victim thing. And, it was all like, oh, I'm feeling suicidal. And then when I asked them, I'm like, okay, well, what's going on? What's the problem? They just kept repeating themselves. I'm like, okay, well, I can't help you if you're just going to be saying the same thing. And then, right after that, I seen it was him and his fans that was uploading videos about me and stuff. And they were just trying to run with that story. Because I remember I did challenge them to do that though. And I think that's why they was running with that. But, no, I wanted them to, get me canceled. And I'm like, fam, if you guys ain't going to get me canceled, then move on. It's like, and then it was after, or I was all like, no, take me off of YouTube. And I think that what they were thinking was like, oh, well, let's just have it where we call them out for doing something crazy. But I'm like, but it's fabricated. It's a lie. Like, that girl wasn't really suicidal. So it's like, fam, my thing is this. How are you guys going to come up with a plan like that and the plan just backfires? Like, it's only you guys that has a problem with me. The rest of the internet doesn't even know me right now. So, but anyways, the friend, she was just telling me everything, and I was like, wow, I didn't know all of this stuff was happening. And the one thing that she told me where I was like, okay, that's interesting information that you just dropped upon my head. So she goes on to tell me that there is a time where I don't know if he had joined in or if he was invited into. He had to have been invited into the Discord server because that's how you have to get in. But anyways, he joins in. I don't know if it was her Discord server or if it was just a server where like Mutuals was in there and stuff. But anyways, he joins the server. And then he goes on and was just like, just being disrespectful. But he just randomly started saying the N-word. And that was his reason for saying it, was because his roommate is black, gave him permission to. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you even seeking permission? And even if it's not, still, that's something that you have respect for, because you don't know who's in that Discord server. And it very well could have been somebody recording him. And I'm like, man, I'm telling you, if that ever gets put out, him being racist, oh, that's it. I'm like, fam, yeah, you might be able to have an argument talking about, oh, I'm not racist after this episode drops. But it's like, bruh, when the evidence is clear as day, it's one of those things where I'm like, I guess there's just too much evidence surrounding him of him being racist. At least with his fans, it's like, okay, well, you influenced your fans to be racist. If not, then yeah, yeah, they just seen the racism from you and you still influenced them. But no, and then I had to say this was one of the, well, actually, no, I take that back. It wasn't one of the last few things. I guess from him, it was one of the last few things, but with one of his fans. And it's funny because I think this fan had deleted their tweets because I'm not seeing it. There is because no, they just ran. I remember me and is this it? No, this ain't it. I don't think, yeah, because this was from a couple of years ago. Oh, wait a minute. No, I think this ain't it. I thought it was, but I guess it's not. Dang, bro. I thought I had something. Let me look it up with an ER at the end of it. Nope. I think he deleted those tweets, but no. So, the last two things that I did see from him and his fans, that was, racist. So from him, my biggest hater, I wouldn't really call him a content creator and stuff because you see his content, it's like, fam, nah, there's no way possible you call this content. But anyways, so no, there was a video that came out after he got canceled. And he was talking about how he was on a date with this black woman. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, there is no way possible a black woman agreed to, because he was saying that in this call that just recently came out of him, where he's like, a lot of women ask me out. And it's like, no, they don't. It's like, you think they are, but they're asking you for directions. Like, they're not talking to you because they're interested in you. And it's like, when you look like a mixture of Lord Farquaad and the guy that shot Drake and Degrassi, there is no way possible women approach that and they're like, yeah, I want to start a relationship with you, unless they look like Kathy Bates from Misery, and and not even like the earlier Kathy Bates. No, when bro was clocking her upside the head with pig statues and stuff like that. That's most likely gonna be the woman that approaches you, but not no normal sane looking woman. No, there's no way. And a black woman at that, nah. I'm like, I know my people too well to know that they don't be approaching people like you. There's no way. So that's why I'm like, this video might be a lie, but this is what he goes on to say. So he says that him and the woman was on a date. She asked him what's his favorite type of trains. For one, black people don't ask questions like that. They don't do, it's like, we don't be really focused on trains unless, like, I don't know, we're we work in for a train company or something like that. But other than that, it's like a black woman that's a nurse at some medical clinic or something like that, right? She ain't talking about trains like that. So that's I'm like, I don't know what black woman you met, but no, there's no way that a black woman ask a question like that. But no, anyways, he says that the black woman had asked him what's his favorite type of trains. So rather than being like, oh, I don't like that question, or I don't really know, or however you could have approached it in a way where it's not disrespecting her, this is what he claims he said. And I'm thinking to myself, there is no way a black woman would go on a date with you, but let's just say that they do. There is no way possible you're saying this to her face. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you probably said it afterwards, or you were thinking that question, but you didn't look her in her face and say, what's your favorite type of chicken and what's your favorite type of basketball team? I kid you not, and I wish I can find that video, and if I do, oh yes, you best believe I will post it and just probably re-record this podcast episode in a video form. But he claims that he has said that to her. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, the black women that I know, they definitely would have, I think they did more than throw a drink in your face. They had been trying to swing on you, because it's just one of those things where it's like, there's just some black people out there where comments like that, it's just, we can't really process it fast enough to where we have to calm ourselves down. Like, there's some of us where it's like, we know people are being racist, and we know that they're just trying to get a reaction out of us, and I'm like, fam, I ain't even gonna entertain that, so. But then there's black people where it's all like, now I gotta swing on you for saying some stuff like that. But yeah, he claims he said that. And then it was crazy because then there was one night where, and it's funny because his fans, they always would try to say, oh, I'm not racist. So I'm like, that's another fan base. Well, I think I must have been talking to somebody from that other fan base. So it was me, him, one of his fans, and my friend K-Huck. For those that don't know, K-Huck, she is a content creator, very good content creator, by the way. Definitely go check out her channel. But anyways, me, her, and him and his fan, we were going back and forth on Twitter. And I think the fan, they had to have deleted the tweets. He had to have reached out to them, or they had to have been listening to it, because I talked on this before. And no, yeah, we were getting into it. Then at some point in time, me and the fan, we were just kind of going back and forth. And then, yeah, out of nowhere, the fan had called me the N-word. And I'm thinking to myself, whoa, wait a minute, time out. Let's hold on. Flag on the play, 10-yard penalty. No, we got to go back on this. Where did that come from? I'm like, I ain't said nothing disrespectful to this guy. I ain't said nothing crazy. All I was just doing was pretty much giving my hater a taste of his own medicine. And then, yeah, the fan was all like, yeah, when I have to deal with people like you, I am going to be racist. And I'm like, wow, because I did call him out for being racist. And that was his response. And I'm like, huh, okay. I'm like, if that's what you want to do, I'm like, then, hey, be my guest. At the end of the day, at some point in time, people are going to see that and they're going to start questioning you, my biggest hater. It's going to be a lot of questions, because it just trips me out. I don't see that enough of him being questioned for being a racist. Like, I'm seeing it here and there, but it's not asked enough. And yeah, I just think that he's trying to do as much as he possibly can, I guess, like damage control, where he doesn't want stuff like that to get talked about. But it's like, fam, it's there, like I don't think that I'll be able to do an almost 30-minute episode. Well, no, it is going to be 30 minutes after I'm close it out and stuff. But yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do a 30-minute episode talking about, you and your fans being racist. And it's like, fam, like, it's just how, I guess, like, because with me, my thing is this episode, I've been talking about this for a while now, and it's always been accurate. I'm not leaving out stuff. I'm not forgetting. If anything, I'm like, there's stuff that's happening more and more where I'm all like, oh, yeah, there is this, there is that. And so, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, fam, there's just way too much of that conversation surrounding you for it to not exist. Like, nah, there's no way possible that you can convince maybe a stranger, but somebody like myself, where I'm like, I've dealt with you for a long period of time. Yeah, no, you ain't got me convinced. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.